2017, for the most part, has been a pretty great year for gaming. It's improved by a substantial amount compared to 2016's lineup of both mediocre and forgettable games. But where there exist W's, there is also L's, and this year has definitely taken its fair share. So with that being said, I welcome you all to the top 10 gaming L's of 2017. Keep in mind, this is all in my opinion, so if you agree, that's cool. If you don't, then that's fine as well. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have Sonic Forces at number 10 because out of all the games that came out this year, this one disappointed me the most. And at this point, knowing Sega and the Sonic franchise, I'm not surprised. So, what didn't I like about this game? Just about everything. It felt so underwhelming. The character creation and the classic Sonic stages seemed so tacked on and unneeded. And to make matters worse, even the modern Sonic stages were uninspired, simple to beat levels, and the boss fights outside of the last mission were pretty hit or miss. There are some I like, but most of them are forgettable. Now, one thing that I've yet to mention is the soundtrack. Most Sonic games have amazing OSTs, and this isn't one of them. How do you mess up the one saving grace this game could have had? Even Sonic 06 had a stellar soundtrack. The songs in this game are just bland. If I had to properly sum up my thoughts on this game, I use this clip from the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Let me be honest with you about this one. Ooh boy, I hate this game. I mean, it makes me want to kill myself.
Well said. Well said.
Death Stranding. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came together?
ですね、先ほどトレーラー出てましたけど、あれは実機で動いてます。プレイステーションプロで 4K です。はい。
So you just saw the trailer. That is all.
PSX this year was nothing more than visual and NyQuil. Majority of the stuff they showed off were either VR or indie games. We got some AAA titles here and there, but definitely not as much as last year. Yes, I know Sony said not to expect much from PSX this year, but this is just a mockery. Instead of giving us insightful information about their games, all we got was standard PR babble. And this man Kojima knows damn well he can speak fluent English. Every time he's asked a question about his game, he reverts back to his native tongue. For example, hello, it is nice to see you all again. Mr. Kojima, I have a question about Death Stranding. Kore wa, One Piece desu ka? No, but in all seriousness, the gameplay they showcased of Detroit Become Human was interesting. It could have been better if they showed a more eventful part of the game though. What they did show came close to putting me to sleep. Overall, this conference left more to be desired. Speaking of desires, that leads to number 8. Spider-Man PS4 is the only game that's played with my emotions, and it's not even out yet. We've known about this game for over a year now, and still know almost nothing about it. Yes, we technically have, 2 trailers and roughly 9 minutes of gameplay? But that's it in the span of a year. The most important thing about a Spider-Man game is the gameplay. Everything else is secondary. Now, it did have a presence at PSX with the devs talking about gameplay details. Yeah, instead of showing us actual gameplay, they just told us about it. Isn't that just lovely? Honestly, the less they show of it, the more interest I lose. Hopefully 2018 can change that. Number 7 is the Game Awards. Yeah. I'm moving on. Microsoft takes an L for canceling Scalebound. It could have been something special, especially for a gaming platform that has had a pretty dry lineup outside of Cuphead. After multiple delays and setbacks, Microsoft finally just pulled the plug on it, leaving a lot of fans, myself included, very disappointed. Come on, a co-op game developed by Platinum Games, the same people who made Nier? Oh well, just like my chances of hitting 1K, it's nothing but a dream. Despite my many gripes with Xenoverse 2, it still provided me some fun for a while. So naturally, when Hero Coliseum came out, I gave it a try. The mode by itself is okay, but I feel like it was created to try to push TP medals more with outrageous prices. Now, I was exaggerating a bit in the Professor Alpha episode, but my thoughts are still basically the same. TP medals suck. If you defend the idea of TP medals or the prices of them, you suck too. The only way we can show Bandai Namco we don't want this is to not support it. But then that would mean they'd actually have to listen to the fans, which they don't do. Yeah. Moving on. Okay, hear me out. I like Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it's shaping up to be a good Dragon Ball game. What I don't like, however, is the community. The community is brain dead. I'm mostly referring to the dub versus sub debates. It seems like ever since Super came out, people have just gone out of their way to bash the Dragon Ball dub. I've seen comments from people just trashing on the dub for fighters, and it makes no sense. Who cares if Japanese is the original language? It's all a preference. Let people like what they like, okay? If you're a person who actively participates in dub versus sub debates, then guess what? You're a loser. It really isn't that serious. Capcom shafted this game. No X-Men characters, a lackluster starting roster, and a mediocre story mode. All of that plus the fact that some of the characters look a bit off. There's no way Spider-Man should be built like a fucking brick wall. On the bright side, the gameplay is really fun and intuitive, but when it comes to the MVC franchise, we expect the best, and this definitely was not their best. The number 2 spot goes to the half-assed marketing of Shinobi Striker. There came a point where some people forgot this game even existed. Hell, I bet Bandai Namco forgot this game existed at a certain point. I want to clarify that I have zero interest in this game, nor have any of the gameplay or trailers shown given me anything I can be excited about. Am I calling the game bad? No, it's just not my cup of tea. I've tried to be optimistic about this game, but as I mentioned earlier, I've yet to see anything to be optimistic about. If you've played the beta and liked this game, then hey, more power to you. Someone has to like this shit after all. It had to come eventually. Number 1 is EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 microtransactions. I don't hate the idea of microtransactions, but EA straight up scammed people. EA can't be trusted, it's been this way for a while now. They got so much backlash to the point where they temporarily removed all microtransactions from the game. They put it back in pretty quickly, but the shit was gone for a little while, which was a big achievement for a lot of gamers. You know, our voices actually matter. We as the consumer decide with our wallets. EA was shook after this. Sales went down, people saw how scummy EA can really be, and I loved every second of it. How the hell do you have loot boxes in a Star Wars game? Who does that? And that's why EA gets the number 1 L of 2017. Overall, 2017 has definitely had more good things that outweigh the bad, and I hope this continues going into 2018. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Peace.